Okay, hello and welcome back to 2. Where we left off was the slide about how we're going to use D2L. So in order to explain that a little bit better, I'm going to exit out of the PowerPoint and go back to D2L. Again, I think I've already told you that we're going to use D2L by week. So everything that you're going to need is always going to be listed by week. It's going to be over here in your table of contents. You can already see down here that week 2, it says begins January 18th. That means that it will come live on that Friday. So I've set it to open right away in the morning. It'll be there on Friday morning, and that will tell you what's going to happen during week 2. If you ever need earlier access for any of the week because you need to work ahead, just let me know in an email and we can figure out how to make that happen. Other than that, as far as D2L, just make sure you're clicking around and becoming familiar with what's here in D2L. Know that the materials and content slide just will get you really to just this view so that you can see the table of contents. This is where all the course content will be loaded. Communications, the big things that you'll want to know is that there's a class list. So if you click here, you're going to be able to see everybody that is in our course. You can email them. I'm listed here, so I'm right here. You can always just click my name and click email if you want to write me for any reason, but you can do that for any of the members in the course. Also, know that your discussion board is here, so that you'll always go to communication discussions to find all of the discussion boards. Assessments, you're going to want to make sure you keep up with your grades. Anytime you submit an assignment, you're going to go to assignments here. And you can see your very first assignment is due on Friday at 11:30 at night. That will always be the due date on Fridays. So just make sure that you get your first reflection done and that you're going to click on it. When you do that, you can see that the directions for the assignment are right here. And then you'll just click on Add a File and put your, make sure that it's a Word document or a PDF. Please know that you do have access to Office 365 as a student, and while I'm there, I can actually show you how to get there. It's really easy. If you just click on this, you can log into your Office 365 account. I don't know if you can see your username is yourstarid@go.minstate.edu, and then your password is your Star ID password. So once you log in, you can go to your OneDrive, and that's when you can use Word and PowerPoint and all of Office 365. So please get familiar with that as soon as possible and ask me questions, or know that you can always come to campus and go to the IT help desk if you need anything. I think overall that's pretty much all I'm going to show you in D2L. I will get more specific when I get into how to do the first weeks of assignments. Don't worry, I'm not going to do that every week. It's just the first week. Do a lot of hand holding to make sure you know what you're doing and where everything is. Okay, so back to our PowerPoint. The next thing that we're going to talk about is VoiceThread. This is a program that you're going to use for the course. Actually, this week you have a crash course on the 6 traits that you're going to watch. And so in order to do that, you do need an account because I am going to require you to participate interactively in the presentation, which is one of the really cool things that VoiceThread does. So let me show you where to go. And we're going to stop and just do that now. Get it done. It's on your checkoff sheet for your assignments for 1, and we're just going to do it now. So if you look there, you're going to go, I need to go back to materials and content. And from there, if I scroll down, I can say, oh, there's my link to VoiceThread. Now, I'm already logged in, and so know that you are going to have to go ahead and set up an account. It's free as a student. Just put in your email address and set up your account. When you do that, then you will be able to comment on my VoiceThreads. It would be a good idea. I've given you the link here to all the VoiceThread tutorials. Just go there and it'll show you how do you comment on a video, how do you comment on a VoiceThread, how to do it. You are going to be required later in the semester to actually make your own VoiceThreads. So when we get there, it's probably a good idea to know how to do it. And it's really easy. Basically, you just make a PowerPoint and you upload the PowerPoint to VoiceThread. You just click Create, you upload the PowerPoint, and then you just talk over it. And you'll see that as once you start watching the tutorials. So that is on your to-do list this week. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is your first 7-minute writing. This is introduction to me. I want to get to know a little bit more about your past writing instruction and kind of what you do as far as writing in your spare time and whatever expectations you have for the course. So to show you where to do that and how to use the discussion board, I'm going to exit out of PowerPoint again, and I'm going to go back to D2L. And we're going to go back to week 1. And you can see that in week 1, part 1, the 7-minute writing is here where it says Letter to Jan. So you're going to click on that. And when you get there, this is, again, a 7-minute writing. Remember that all 7-minute writings are on a private discussion board, which means that only you can see it and I can see it. No one else in our class can see any of the private discussion boards. So here are the questions that I want you to answer. They're the same thing that was on the slide. I just copied and pasted it here. And you're just going to click on Start a New Thread. And then you are going to put your name. You can just say Jan, or like for example, Jan's introduction here, and then you're going to answer your 7-minute writing here. Now, you are going to want to make sure that your group is your name, and that's where you're going to post, because again, these are private discussion boards. When you're done, you'll just click Post. Okay, so that covers your first 7-minute writing. And again, all of these are on your to-do list. So as you get them done, you can either pause this video and get them done as we go, or you can just come back and start checking things off when you get there. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is actually start the first episode of Serial. So this is also on your to-do list. So the first thing I want you to think about is, where were you? Where were you exactly? This is 6 weeks ago. So 6 weeks from today was December 3rd. So I want you just to take out a sheet of paper right now and just jot down some notes. Where were you 6 weeks ago? So go ahead and pause the video and do some thinking and just write down everything that you can remember December 3rd. Don't use your phone. Don't use any social media. Don't cheat. I'd see what you can remember. Okay. Now, if you can get any more specific, can you remember where you were at 2 o'clock in the afternoon from 2 to 3 on December 3rd? Can you get any more specific? So first we had you think about anything from that day, and now just a little bit more specific for 2 o'clock in the afternoon on December 3rd. Now go ahead and use your phone and fill in any gaps. And again, pause the video at this point. That way that you can finish this writing. This will be something you're going to use when you go to your first discussion board for episode 1. So go ahead and pause the video and fill in any gaps in your memory. Try to remember everything you can from December 3rd. Okay, now that you've done that, the next thing that we're going to do, and again, you can see you're going to post what you just did on the discussion board after you listen to the entire episode of Serial. So you can either, now this PowerPoint presentation has been posted onto D2L, so you can, if you're using it to follow along with me, you can actually, the link does work and it will take you there to episode 1, and then you can just hit play. But at this point, I want you to pause this introductory video and I want you to listen to all of episode 1, Serial Season 1, The Alibi. It is about an hour long, so just know that as far as time budgeting, you're going to need about an hour to listen to it. So go ahead and you're going to do that now. Okay, so hopefully you paused the video and you listened to the first episode. The next thing I want you to do is you're going to work on your discussion board. So here are the questions that I'm going to want you to focus on. And so again, these are also copied and pasted in the discussion board, so you don't have to remember them here. They're there. So let's go there now. We're going to go back here. And again, just so we're going to go back to week 1, part 1. And then you can see, again, here's the link to Serial Season episode 1. It was there too. Don't forget it's also over here. So it's in lots of different places. There's never going to be a reason you can't find it. And then here is the discussion board for episode 1. So you just go ahead and click on it. When you get there, again, here I've copied and pasted the directions that were on the PowerPoint slide. They're right here. And again, you're going to click Start a Thread. You can put week 1 response, that's fine, or episode 1, episode 1 response, and then you're going to go ahead and type your response here. When you're done, you're going to click post. Remember, this is due on Wednesday. Make sure that your post is posted by Wednesday. And again, 11:30 p.m. is our due date all the time, so make sure by 11:30 Wednesday night you have posted this first reflection about episode 1. Then remember, once that's done, you're going to go in and you're going to reply. So I can show you a little bit about that. So for right now, just to make this easy, I'm going to say Jan's episode 1 reflection. Okay, so if I type that in, then let's say I'm going to post my reflection here. Okay, I don't have time to write one, so again, I just want to show you how to reply in case you don't know how to do that. So let's say I'm going to have my whole reply there. Now, let's pretend that it's Friday. You're going to go back into this same discussion board, and you're going to click on, you have to reply to at least 3 of your classmates. So let's say you're going to reply to mine. So you're going to go ahead, and obviously this would be way better, way longer, and I will have answered all the questions. And so then once you've read that, you're going to click reply to thread, and you're going to reply, and when done, you click post. Okay, you're going to notice that when you go in here, I am going to delete this one so that it's not there. But again, just to show you how to do it, that's how you reply to a thread. Okay, so once you have done that, then we are actually all the way to the very end of our week 1 introduction. And let's just make sure you know what you're doing, how to find it, and where to do everything. So the first thing you're going to do, again, make sure you might have already done this, listen to episode 1 and post to the discussion board. Again, initial posts are due Wednesday by 11:30 at night, and you must reply Friday by 11:30 at night to at least 3 other students. All right, that's the first thing. The second thing is complete your 7-minute writing letter to me. That was in your discussion board. That is the private discussion board. That's where you're going to tell me a little bit about your previous writing instruction. You're going to sign up VoiceThread. You're going to watch the tutorial so you feel like you know what you're doing in VoiceThread. It's a super easy program. I don't think you'll have any problems, but if you do, make sure that you either post a question or email me. Next, you're going to complete your introduction post to the discussion board. I have not shown you that yet, so I will do that. And you're also going to add a picture to D2L. There are instructions on how to do that in this introduction section. Other than that, for part 2, you do have another 7-minute writing on coming of age. The directions are in there. You're going to watch 6 Traits of Writing VoiceThread, and it goes with an essay called A Sin. All of that's posted in the week 1 part 2 section. Know that the VoiceThread does have a place for you to comment, and you will be expected to do that, so make sure that you are participating in VoiceThread. There is a blog post that I want you to read. It's by Zakaya. It's called Good Muslims Do Bad Things Too, and then there's an informal writing that you will post in the assignment folder. So I'm going to quickly show you those last few things, and then you will be off and running for your first week. So in D2L, again, we're on week 1. The only thing that I hadn't shown you yet was the introduction. So I'm going to click on that now so you understand. Here's your letter of introduction. So you'll click on that. And here you're going to make sure that you introduce yourself. This is how we can form an online community together. So I want you to introduce yourself. Also, I do want you to change and add a picture. So if you go to the class list here, you can actually, so you can see here, you're going to click on there and you're going to click change picture, and I will do that too. I had, so I'm not sure why my picture isn't there, but I'm going to do the same thing. So you just click change picture, add a picture of yourself, and then maybe I didn't save it, but make sure you do. Okay, so as far as week 1 goes, that should be it for week 1, part 1. And then again, as far as part 2 goes, and there is this one other thing. In the introduction forum, please make sure that you change your settings so that when you reply to your peer's post, it doesn't include their original post. You'll find it is so annoying to see that. So just make sure you follow these directions here so that you can remove that so you're not always including their post. All right, I am running out of time, so I guess there will be a part 3 to this video that'll go over the week 1 part 2 stuff, and then that will be it. Again, so just stay tuned to part 2.